Hello, welcome to Yoga with Jess. So I've been getting a lot of questions and comments asking, why do yoga? What are the benefits? What's the purpose of doing yoga? So I'm really excited to bring this video to you today where I'm going to address a lot of those questions, and we're going to flow through a nice, easy flow, allowing you to feel good in the body, relieve any physical pain you might be having, and also experience the meditative, mental, and emotional benefits of doing yoga. So we're going to dive right in now, and I want you to think about breathing in and out through the nose the whole time, helping to control the breath and filling the lungs fully as you inhale, and then exhaling all your air out on the exhale. So on your first inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. One more time. Feel an expansion in the rib cage, energy shooting out the fingertips. And then on the exhale, bring the left hand down to the mat. Start to send the right arm up by the ear and feel into the side body for a big side stretch here. So pressing into that left hand, ground down through both hips. Notice if one hip starts to lift and press it back down. Start to twist the chest and heart open to the sky. We'll take a few breaths here. You can always come down to the forearm if you like. So one big benefit of yoga that I've noticed is a big relief in back pain. On an inhale, come back to center. Exhale, arms down by your side. Inhale, both arms up again. And then exhale, come to the other side. I used to have a lot of pain in my neck and shoulders and low back. And by starting to do a regular yoga practice where we send lubrication into the spine, we're constantly working on our back strength and flexibility, I began to notice an extreme relief in that pain, and now I virtually don't have any pain at all. Inhale back to center. Now twisting over to the left, bring the right hand just to the left knee, and then the left hand behind you, and start to press into both hands for a gentle spinal twist here. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall, energy shooting out the crown of the head, and then exhale, twist a little deeper. So simple stretches like this begin to build that spinal flexibility. And as we practice more and more, our bodies get used to it and actually look forward to maybe even needing to stretch. So if you're not used to stretching every day or doing yoga, your body might be a little bit numb and disassociated. Inhale, center. Let's exhale to the other side. And by starting to practice yoga regularly, we begin to tune in to the mind-body connection, really allowing us to focus on areas that feel weak or that feel pain, and then learning how to actually address them so that we can begin to feel relief. And then exhale, come back to center. So before we get into our flow, I would really like to thank our sponsor, Botanique, for sponsoring this video. They are the makers of this amazing yoga mat cleansing spray, which is made of organic oils and essential oils and is completely environmentally friendly and cruelty-free. Before this video, I sprayed my mat, and I was surprised to see all of this crazy dirt and yucky stuff come off on the little microfiber cloth that also comes with your purchase. So even if your mat looks clean or smells decent, you might be surprised what comes off when using an amazing spray like this one. You know, sometimes we practice outside or we go to a yoga studio that smells a little stanky, you know, and even our own sweat could start to seep into the mat and over time start to ruin it. So I definitely endorse investing in this amazing yoga spray to keep you fresh and revived as you flow. So with that in mind, let's begin. So let's begin in a kneeling position. Come to the center towards the back of your mat and sit on your heels. Sitting up nice and tall, we'll bring the hands to heart center, Ujjayi Mudra or prayer pose. On an inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, send the upper body forward, placing the hands down on the mat for an extended child's pose. Inhale, push into the palms and start to round the spine for a cat back. Really pressing into the palms, broadening the shoulders, and feeling this nice stretch all along the vertebrae. Tuck those toes under. On your exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. And just take a few breaths here. And really press into the palms, send the hips up towards the sky, send the chest towards the back of the mat, and then try to get your heels down to touch. You can pedal out the feet, bending one knee and pressing the opposite heel into the mat here. Down dog, just a big full body stretch here, really engaging the back of the legs, the hamstrings, and the calf muscles. And starting to work the upper body as well, feeling into the shoulders here as we press our head a little closer to the mat, opening up our shoulders. So while you breathe here, I'll start to talk about another benefit of yoga, getting that breath to body connection. So that's what differentiates yoga from a lot of other workouts or just being at the gym, where we're starting to integrate breath with movement. And what that does is send fresh energy and oxygen into our muscles, into our cells, completely revitalizing us and allowing for healing. On an inhale, start to shift the weight forward, round the spine, and bring the knees back down to the mat for cat pose. So we really want to press into the palms, pushing the mat away from us, and broadening those shoulders as we tuck the chin, looking up towards the navel. Exhale, sit back down, child's pose, extending the arms out, really reaching out in front of us here. Feel a nice stretch in the triceps and shoulders. Inhale, sit back on the heels, bring the arms up overhead, nice tall spine here. And then exhale, arms back to heart center. Now just take a moment here and notice if you feel any differences in the body from when you began. A lot of times I notice a tingling sensation or a feeling of warmth move through the body. This is a sign that your body is turned on and everything is working, and energy or chi or prana, whatever you want to call it, is flowing through the body. It's so healthy for you, and that's another big benefit of yoga. So now I'd like to really try forging that mind, body, and breath connection as we move through this sequence again, inhaling and exhaling as you move. So allow your mind to just shut everything out except for focusing on your breath and focusing on the sensations that arise in the body. I'll talk about the benefit of that in just a moment. So sitting up nice and tall, hands at heart center, exhale all your air out. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, coming forward, child's pose. Inhale, push into the palms, cat pose. Exhale, hips up to the sky, down dog. Inhale, coming forward, cat pose. Exhale, send the hips back, child's pose. Inhale, sitting up tall, arms come up overhead. Then exhale, arms back to heart center. That was so invigorating. So the benefit of coming back to our breath and focusing on our bodily movements as we're moving and breathing is that we're training the mind to turn off that chatter, that monkey mind that oftentimes causes a lot of stress and anxiety and is very bad for the body. We're training that mind to just come back to the present moment, by focusing on the breath and the sensations in the body. Just like every other muscle, we're working the mind to come back and train it to be present. And you will find so many gains in your overall happiness and well-being once you get a stronger handle on that. Another huge benefit of yoga. All right, so moving on, let's place the hands by our side, come onto the balls of the feet, and then allow your body to bounce a little bit. A little low squat here, feeling the low back stretch out. If you like, you can work on maybe dropping the heels towards the mat and stretching the arms out in front, dropping the hips down as low as you can and really feeling a nice big low back stretch. A lot of us have low back pain, so these next few stretches are going to target that. Bringing the hands back down, let's start to straighten the legs. First, keep a little micro bend in the knees, and let's heel toe the feet about hips width distance apart so the ankles are stacked right underneath your hips. Allow the chest to completely relax and drop, and we'll bring the hands to opposite elbows. Allow yourself to sway left and right,
So we're really feeling into different parts of the low back on the diagonal here. If you'd like to hold one side and stretch it out, if it's tight, please do. Again, just building that body awareness of what feels good and what needs extra attention. Coming back to center, let's start to straighten the legs. So feeling the back of the legs turn on here, big hamstring and calf stretch. Continuing to hold our elbows here as we allow gravity to send our upper body a little closer to the mat. Release any tension you might be holding in your jaw or face. And just again, send your breath to any areas that feel tight. So, along with all the benefits that I've already mentioned, increasing the flexibility in the body is so important, especially as we age. We're also trying to reverse a lot of the effects from sitting. A lot of us sit at a desk all day or in our cars. So counterbalancing some of the damage we do with yoga is a huge benefit to the body. And now, releasing the hands back down to the mat, let's bring our toes together and start to sit back nice and low. Shift the weight into the heels and start to sit nice and low, almost like you're gonna fall over behind you into a little chair. Come onto the fingertips, start to engage the low belly by sucking it in, and then tuck the tailbone under to lift the chest. On an inhale, bring the arms up overhead, Utkatasana chair pose. Now this is a full body posture. I'm sure you're feeling it in your quadriceps, in your glute muscles, in your shoulders and your arms. So keep sitting nice and low, squeeze those inner thighs together, inner ankles together, and inner knees together. If this hurts your shoulders, you could always bring the hands back to heart center. One more breath here. See if you could sit a little lower, lift the chest a little higher. And then on the inhale, come all the way up to stand. Arms come down by your side. So again, take a moment here to notice how the body feels. Right now, I feel an extreme flush of blood through the body. My circulatory system is nice and active. Feeling happy and invigorated. Just notice, this is building awareness into that somatic body. Now, the next few postures are part of a sequence that I'm pulling from my 30-day yoga challenge that I'm so excited about. We're in the middle of filming. We just finished day 18 and we're getting into some more advanced postures. So if you're looking to advance your yoga practice, I highly recommend checking it out. And just to learn more about the full purpose of yoga, we're gonna do breathing techniques, meditation, the whole gamut. I'm so excited about it. I hope you'll join me. So now we're gonna shift into tree pose, Vrksasana. So shift the weight into your left foot and start to lift the right off the mat. You can keep the ball of the foot on the mat if you need to help balance, or maybe start to lift it up towards the calf muscle, or maybe you grab the ankle and bring it up to the inside of your thigh. Any of those options are beautiful as long as you're not right on the kneecap. So this is one of many balancing postures that are a big part of yoga. So as we breathe in this physical asana, we're also learning how to focus the mind. So pick a drishti, a focal point to focus on, and allow the rest of the world to fall away as you focus the mind on that point. This is a really helpful tool to help reduce anxiety and depression. And again, just training the mind to come back to the focus. So stay up nice and lifted. If you'd like to test your balance even more, maybe start to lift the arms up towards the sky. And if you start to sway or lose your balance, just come right back into the center, revisiting and remembering this is a practice. You're not going to get it the first time around. And that's another beautiful benefit of yoga, is that we're learning how to be patient with ourselves, practice self-compassion, and just come back to our practice, come back to our mat, no matter what happened yesterday. Bring the hands back to heart center, and then let's lift the foot off the thigh, cross it over the body, and we'll sit down for a one-legged chair pose. So imagine sending this knee away from you as you feel a really nice stretch in the glutes and outer hip area. And sit nice and low like we did earlier for chair pose.
This is an excellent strengthening posture as you really feel your glutes and your quadriceps turn on. So this goes without mentioning, but another huge benefit of yoga is just full body toning. Allowing your muscles to really engage, working different parts of the body in each posture. Inhale, come back up to stand, and exhale, place the leg down. Now shake it out slightly. Let's bring the feet a little bit wide and turn the toes out. Bring the hands to heart center and sit down, goddess pose. So again, this is really working the legs as we start to open up the hips here as well. Tuck the tailbone under, keep the chest lifted, and engage your core muscles. On an inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, bend the elbows, squeeze the shoulders behind you for cactus arms. Now here we're opening the chest up to the sky, getting a really nice opening stretch, allowing us to emotionally feel this opening and relieving of tension and stress. Inhale, straighten the arms and legs, star pose, and then exhale, heel toe the feet back towards the center. Let's do the other side. So shifting the weight into the right foot this time, start to lift the left leg off the mat and come to the same variation that you did on the other side. I'm gonna bring my foot to my inner thigh. And notice if doing that sends your hip into one direction. Stay nice and centered and lifted. So really engaging the core here, engaging our back muscles, focusing on our drishti, our focal point. And then if you'd like, test your balance, start to raise the arms up to the sky. Internally rotating the arms so the pinkies are towards one another. If you really like to test your balance, maybe try closing your eyes for a moment and see what happens. And then bringing the hands back to heart center, lift the foot off the leg wherever it's at, cross it over the body, and then sit down, one-legged chair, Ekapada Utkatasana. You can sit as low as you can here while lifting the chest, keeping the belly sucked in and flexing that left foot. So you might start to notice in this posture that maybe you're struggling or some thoughts are surfacing that might be aggressive or maybe even negative. And that's one of the things I'm really excited to present in my 30-day challenge is how to break free of those thought patterns and set up new ways of thinking and some positive, affirmative thoughts. So oftentimes our thoughts dictate how our body reacts, and we can mentally breathe and work through any discomfort. It's a really good tool for when we're off the mat and we're experiencing something uncomfortable, knowing how to get through that with ease and grace. Inhale back to center, send the leg down to the mat, and once again, let's heel toe our feet out to the side, turning the toes out so that the knees can come over the big toes. Inhale, arms up. And this time, we're gonna bring the hands behind the low back, interlace the fingers, and then exhale, sit back, goddess pose, squeezing those shoulder blades together again for a big heart opener here while we roll the shoulders back. Allowing ourselves to feel a little vulnerability here. Sometimes we get very closed off and inside our shell. Big heart opening postures like this allow us to feel free, unbridled, and open. Inhale, back up, release the clasp, arms up, star pose, and then heel toe the feet back to center. So I'm already sweating, definitely feel my heart rate increased. So again, check in, notice how your body's feeling. It's just part of the practice of observing. So we're gonna end today with a simple inversion. And in my 30-day challenge, I walk you through several different inversions, including working our way all the way up to a headstand and a handstand. So that's something very exciting that you can check out. So start to make your way down onto the mat. Nice and easy, coming onto the sits bones, and then lowering down all the way to your back. Bring the knees in towards the chest, and then start to straighten the legs, flexing the feet and lifting the heels up towards the sky. And just allow yourself to hang out here for a moment, coming back to your breath, pressing the low back into the mat, shoulders relaxed on the mat. There's so many amazing benefits of inversions. First off, we're allowing the blood to drain out of the feet, out of the legs, and renew the blood in the heart center. So especially if we're seated at our desk or in the car or on the couch, all the blood is always sitting in our legs and feet. We rarely invert unless you have a regular yoga practice, or if you're a gymnast or dancer of some kind. But yoga teaches you many different inversions, like I mentioned, that I'll go over in my 30-day challenge to help you feel these benefits. Another huge benefit of inverting is helping to regulate hormones. So a lot of us have some issues with our thyroid or with our hormones, and practicing inversions on a regular basis helps get all of that back in balance. You may already start to feel a little tingling as the blood drains out. Totally normal, just stay with it. Again, practicing that mental focus of bringing the mind back into the body, back to your breath, and just sitting with any new sensations or discomfort that might be arising. One more breath here. And then start to bend the knees, bringing the legs close in towards the chest, and then start to kick the feet out towards the floor for a final resting pose, Savasana. Now I encourage you to stay in this pose as long as you like. You can flip the palms up towards the sky, just completely relaxing the body and allowing it to integrate all the work we just did. So during our flow, when we're constricting or restricting, certain muscle groups are active, certain ones are relaxed, maybe we're focused on the left side or the right side, there's always something going on. So in Savasana, it's really important to allow the blood to flow evenly and completely balance the body back out. So see if you could stay as still as possible without fidgeting, and maybe you press pause on the video and allow yourself to stay here as long as you like. And then when you're ready, you start to wiggle the fingers and toes, bring the arms up overhead, give yourself a big morning stretch, and then bending the knees back in towards the chest, and grab at the top of the shins, and start to gently rock and roll, massaging the vertebrae as you come all the way up to a seat. Wonderful job today. I hope you're feeling energized and invigorated and a little bit of stress and anxiety reduction. And I hope you not only learned some new things about yoga and its benefits, but are experiencing them in your body right now. I want to take another moment to thank our sponsor, Botanique. Again, it's 100% natural, no artificial ingredients used. And what's so cool too is that they donate 10% of their profits to charity. And you could actually go onto their website and choose which charity you'd like to donate to. So I think that's super cool. There's also no animal testing, and it's very environmentally friendly, and it smells amazing. It's also made right here in the US, and I really hope you support this company. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback on this video, and I invite you to check out Wellness Plus, where you can see hundreds of other workout videos and wellness videos, and my 30-day yoga challenge will be posted on there as well, so keep an eye out for that. And to learn more about me and my practice, please visit my website, comingom.com. I hope to see you again soon on your mat, and have a fabulous rest of your day. Namaste.